So, for those who are tuning in, what is going on? This is Gabriel Jones giving you a drop of sun any chance I get. And today is our big Grammy stream finale. We are doing the fourth and final stream for the ceremony, all leading up to the big night tomorrow. And with me, as always, is InvincibleBoris.
Hi.
And Ryan Eyster.
Eyster again.
Oh, sorry about that, Ryan.
When you said the big night, I would have said the big night that no one will watch.
The big night that no one watched.
Because last year got, like, really low ratings.
Oh yeah, they actually might dip even further, honestly, with the whole weekend controversy, and like him now. Remember, doesn't feel the same without Abel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But hey, Abel's probably going to take the biggest song of all time soon. So,
Oh
justice for that.
yeah, of course, yeah. Cause like he was approached because like the reason why this whole thing even started is because he was approached by the Super Bowl and the Grammys to perform for them, and he was given an ultimatum, and he went with the Super Bowl.
Well, that kind of makes the Grammys seem petty, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like, cause yeah, like the fact that like they made him the fact that they forced him into
like especially now that they moved the ceremony to March, like the weekend could easily have made both.
Yeah, exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's even worse. Yeah, it's even worse. Since like he could have had enough time to prepare for both.
Yeah.
Oh God. But anyway, so for those of you who may remember, our third Grammy stream got cut off due to the camera malfunction. So I think we'll just wrap up our. I think we'll just summarize our picks from last time real quick before we delve into today's awards. So
wait, was the second Grammy stream the only one that actually went up without any issue? Because I remember you said about the first stream that we couldn't hear your audio.
Yeah, it's a lot. I apologize, guys. It's a lot of technical difficulties. I'm so sorry.
It's completely fine. Technical difficulties just happen all the time. Some things you can't beat yourself up about.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But anyway, so last time we went over Best New Artist, and we actually voted on Ingrid Andress. No, let me rephrase that. Last time we discussed Best New Artist, and our top three picks were Ingrid Andress, Phoebe Bridgers, and Megan Thee Stallion, with Phoebe and Megan actually tying for first place, which was the only tie we've had in all of this whole stream. Then, for Best Music Video, Boris, who did you say again?
My favorite music video?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. I will need to pull up the nominations again.
Okay. In the meantime, who did you say, Ryan?
My favorite I think I decided on, it was a split between Harry and Beyonce, and likely I believe one of those two will take it.
Okay.
Both really good, both
Yeah.
really deserving.
I remember
I would say either Lockdown or Goliath.
Lockdown or Goliath. Okay.
Maybe Adore You as well, but like I don't think any of these are like bad videos.
Yeah, none of them are bad. They all have their own unique qualities.
Yeah.
Let me just send out this tweet. Alright. But yeah, I remember Lady Like Willow was tweeting, so do we think Beyonce or Harry is going to take Best Video? And I remember I tweeted out, I might have to go with both. I'm going to have to say they tied.
Kanye would disagree.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I wonder how the Harry fans are going to go. I wonder how the Harry stands will go after him.
I'm very happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the best music video of all time.
Yes. Oh, remember when Kanye tried to do that again when Beck won?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when he won for what was it called? Morning Phase.
Morning Phase, yeah. Honestly, I did not care for Morning Phase or Beyonce self-titled.
Well, yeah, I think I remember. It was also Ed Sheeran was also nominated that year.
No, hang on. I'm trying to remember. It was Beck, and then Beyonce, Pharrell, and two other people. Um, it was okay. Sam Smith and Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
I actually Pharrell's album was my favorite.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I remember when I was listening that year, I was like so exhausted because I was like doing the album listening at night because I had school during the day, and I was just exhausted. I was like, okay, I don't care. I don't care. No offense to Pharrell, but I don't really care much for this album. Like, I know the award's gonna go to either Beck or Beyonce, so let's just breeze through this one.
I'm surprised Pharrell made it out of the Blurred Lines controversy relatively unscathed because he did most of the work.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, because like, didn't like Robin admit that he like didn't contribute that much to the song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
funny enough, speaking of Album of the Year nominees, Tori Kelly had some vocal credits on Pharrell's album, and she does so on Jacob Collier's album.
yeah, I remember she has a feature. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, she wasn't featured. She just did like background vocals on Pharrell's album.
Yeah, I'm talking about Jacob.
Yeah, but Jacob, she is like a whole feature,
Mm.
which was like the first I learned anything of Jacob Collier.
Okay.
So I was like pleasantly surprised that he got an Album of the Year nomination.
Yeah, well, congrats to him.
Yeah, so I guess that should be our transition to actually talking about the nominees. Or...
Mm-hmm. Well, do you want to go? Do you want to recap our country takes first?
Yes.
Okay, so
my favorite country album was Brandy Clark's "Your Life Is a Record."
Mm-hmm. And then Ryan, you said
I think it's actually funny you bring that up because I completely forgot last week that apparently Brandy Clark is a Grammy favorite.
I think I remember she has received a good amount of nominations. Like, didn't she get I think she got nominated for Best New Artist one year. I don't remember which year it was.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Best New Artist.
And then Ryan, for Best Country Album, you said Ashley McBride, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Ashley
yes.
Ashley McBride. Yeah. Ashley McBride, but all of them are just really good.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Clark was nominated the year that Sam Smith won.
Oh, okay. All right. Same year as Beck beating up Beyonce. And then I said for a country album, I said Ingrid Andress. And let's see, for country performances, who did I say? Let me go to my Google sheet. Let me see. And then okay, I said for best country performance and best country song, I went with Bluebird by Miranda Lambert. And then for best country duo group performance, Ocean by Lady A. And then what did you...
Alright, for me, solo, I have to go with either Bluebird or Black Like Me.
Okay.
With probably the Grammy edge going to Bluebird.
All right. And then Boris, who did you say for those categories?
For solo, I would say Who You Thought I Was, and then for duo and group, maybe Sugarcoat.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with either Ocean or Sugarcoat for group duo.
Okay.
Obviously, the Grammys would probably give it to Dan and Shay.
Please don't give it to Justin.
And for country song, More Hearts Than Mine.
Okay. Yeah. I remember you saying you adore that song.
Yeah, it is. It's still my favorite song of the year, and thankfully that part actually got tapped in before the stream got cut off.
Wonderful.
Yeah, me gushing over Ingrid Andress for like 7 minutes.
But yeah, I think that covers. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I mean, I went over and watched that small part before it got cut off. And yeah, literally, I think a third of the stream was nothing but me gushing over Ingrid Andress.
Wonderful. But yeah, I think that covers everything we wanted to say. So what do you say we dive into Album of the Year?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So
Let's do it.
First up on the list is Jhené Aiko's Chilombo. This was actually seen as a bit of a surprise choice, considering that it wasn't like talked about in news headlines as much as some of the other nominees. But it was said to be a very well-constructed R&B record, and
I guess I can agree with that, although I don't really find it sticks in the memory as strongly as, let's say, her, the album from the last ceremony, or the self-titled Her album. I mean,
or was it I Used to Be Here?
No, the one before that.
Okay. But yeah, most of this album consists of her like reflecting on a breakup and like the feelings that she's sort of like harboring now that she's no longer with her man. But in a lot of ways she feels very free and very able to like live out her life the way she feels she should. And
which includes that one song about just things that we probably can't describe in front of a PG audience.
Oh no. Definitely it's definitely something. Yeah, something that we might have to like, not mention on stream. But I think one of my favorite songs is okay, I think if I were to pick 3 of my favorite songs, it would probably be Born Tired, which is sort of like this song where she's like, talking about, women who have, stumbled into the same position that she has when it comes to like relationships. She spends her whole life being exhausted by bullshit, but she strives to keep on moving, and because there's good times waiting for her, It has a very sort of the harp that they use on the track is very delicate and beautiful. The calming electric guitar is really wonderful, and Janelle's vocals have such a nice echo to them. And then I also enjoyed Speak. It's her singing about how beautiful life feels now that she no longer has a man to worry about. And then I also really enjoyed what else did I enjoy? Lightning and Thunder was also a pretty good track. It's her duet with John Legend, and how they feel so enamored with each other. It almost feels like a spell, But I would say those are some of my favorites. Are there any tracks that stuck out to you guys that you'd like to delve into?
Aside from the hit single, not really.
Okay. What about you, Ryan?
I mean, it's a good album, but hang on a moment.
Okay.
Of all the albums I have covered, I do have to say Colombo is one of the ones I respect more than I actually had anything to say about it.
Okay.
I actually went to re-bring up my 2020 and I actually went to re-bring up my 2019, 2020, and 21 rankings that I'm currently doing for this, and yeah, of them, I literally only gave Colombo a single sentence. Because I really didn't have much to say about it.
Okay.
It's definitely good, but nothing that really stuck out to me.
Okay.
For my favorites of the album, I had Happiness Over Everything, Surrender, Born Tired, 10,000 Hours, and the one
The good 10,000 hours.
Yeah, the good 10,000 hours. And Morning Doves, which I believe actually made my final end of the year countdown.
Okay.
Let me just double check that real quick. Oh, actually, it was Born Tired.
Born Tired, yeah. Okay. So it looks like Born Tired is the general favorite among this group. But yeah, any other thoughts on is it Colombo or Chilombo, by the way?
I say Chilumbo.
Okay.
I say Colombo. I do not know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Okay, well
I could probably look it up.
Okay. But yeah, while Boris is looking that up,
No. It's like I feel like we just exhausted everything we wanted to say about the album anyway.
Okay, yeah. So we could just move on to Black. We can move on to Black Pumas. So, all right. So this was seen as an even stranger pick, and one that
because it's a deluxe edition.
A deluxe album that was released before the eligibility period.
I'm wondering, like, because they did kind of the same thing with Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
So is this like setting up a new precedent or something?
Well, actually, I do think that Lizzo's album was released. While she did release a deluxe album, I believe that she did release it during the eligibility period. With mostly new material. Unlike Black Pumas, who were just re-releasing everything with like 2 new songs or something like that.
What I'm thinking is that the standard album was not the one that got nominated when Lizzo received the Album of the Year nomination. What got nominated was the deluxe version of "Cause I Love You."
Yeah, let me see that. Okay, so albums. Yeah, "Cause I Love You." Let me see. So, okay, so "Cause I Love You" was released on April 19th, 2019. And then, let me see when.
If you go on the Wikipedia page for the 62nd Grammy Awards, Album of the Year, Lizzo, "Cause I Love You" Deluxe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I guess it's because like
it's the version of the album that has "Truth Hurts."
Yeah, which was like her big breakout hit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the deluxe edition to add good as hell onto it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Truth Hurts was released in 2017, but like sort of like found its footing on TikTok, which kind of made it a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I guess they just really wanted to like cash in on Truth Hurts. Yep. But Black Pumas.
We're relevant. We swear. We're hip to what kids like. Please think we're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we nominated a young jazz artist. But going back to Black Pumas, honestly, like the Black Pumas they really are talented. Like I like their bluesy style, and the lead vocals from Burton are very, very powerful. But I don't have much to say about this album. I just don't. I can't. A lot of it is just covers. Like they do a cover of Tracy Chapman's "Fast Car."
And Eleanor Rigby.
Mm-hmm. And some band called Death. And so, I mean, like I said, like he is a good singer, and like they do have a very, very distinct style. But like, I just couldn't get myself into this album, honestly.
I think for me, I tried to listen to every single album of the nominee during the periods of it. I tried to catch up to it, but I think the fact that we are now actually at the week that we are talking about the albums of the year, and I still have not properly reviewed it, and after we're done with this, I think I'm gonna continue to forget about Black Pumas. Honestly, says more about the album than I could actually say.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
From what I did look at, I do think I can respect the styling and everything, but honestly, it just kind of exhausted me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think I can say says more for my thoughts about the album, more than I could actually try to cram in a listen and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if perhaps there will be less controversy if were Black Pumas a Best New Artist nominee?
They were, I think, like last year.
Yeah. I feel like if they weren't. How do I put this? I don't know if they have the kind of widespread relevance or massive amount of critical acclaim to justify being in such a high-profile category as Album of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Best New Artist, okay, sure, I can understand that. But, especially considering they're nominated for Album of the Year for a deluxe edition of an album that was released before the eligibility period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone at the Grammys really likes these guys.
Oh yeah, like there has to be like some sort of personal connection, like they have in the community.
I feel like if that were the case, we would find out about it by now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But if I were to choose a song I liked, it would probably be Colors. I like the haunting backup vocals. Burton has a great falsetto. He's like singing about the joy he feels when he wakes up to a beautiful day and sees all the people around him. You know, it's a nice song. You know, definitely something you could play. You know, like when you're just relaxing or just hanging out at a bar or something. When you can hang out at a bar. But yeah, that's really all I really have to say about this record. Do you guys just want to move on?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So.
Before we move on, I will say I do remember the Eleanor Rigby cover from the project. And,
yeah, me too.
And that was pretty good, but
okay.
Yeah, other than that, I do not remember a single thing about it.
Okay. Well, anyway, we then have Everyday
Life. I think it's more like I remember that they did an Eleanor Rigby cover more than I remember the actual cover.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, let's go to Everyday Life by Coldplay, which is another album that sort of surprised people.
In fairness, this one was released in the eligibility period.
Yes, they actually followed the rules this time.
But I hadn't actually. This and Hollywood's Bleeding were the only two albums nominated that I hadn't heard yet.
Okay.
So I checked them both out the day that the nominations came up, and I like Everyday Life. I'm not a huge Coldplay fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt the urgent need to revisit this album, but it definitely has its merits. I think Arabesque is like one of their best songs.
What is it? Okay. Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, guys, or maybe I have, but I'm actually a major Coldplay fan, and I've actually seen them in concert twice, and I've listened to all of their albums, and
Nice.
Yeah, I'm such a huge fan of them. Yeah, and this was actually this has to be the most politically loaded album they've released since A Rush of Blood to the Head. Yeah, because this is like, they touch on themes of, police brutality and what else? Racial equality, and it's actually kind of like amazing how like much they really dig into it, because I remember, like I said, I remember A Rush of Blood to the Head having like a few political themes on there, but I think this is like even, they lean into it even more, yeah, because like for example, you have and like for example, the song "Trouble in Town," there's an ADR. They play some ADR with the police detaining a black pedestrian, and it gets really intense during the track. And it's sort of meant to illustrate how non-white citizens are treated in other countries and the brutality they face on a regular basis. And I found that to be like, it was like I said, it gets really dark, but I think it's like effective, Like the way the way they quietly they pound on the drums, and the dreary piano, and like how the production really intensifies after the officer's threats, and sort of like the harp. And I also especially love the heartbeat sound effect that plays out while the track is ending. I just like the picture they paint with it. Yeah.
Well, now that I'm now that I'm hearing how dark the album actually was, I can actually say that is not what I took away from Everyday Life.
Mm.
Mostly when I was going through it, I didn't even pick up on the elements or anything of that.
Mm-hmm.
The only the only thing I picked up and took away with it this was in the instrumentation. This was actually really soft and relaxing and just
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah,
of
totally.
kind kind of like rushed over me in that kind of mood.
Mm-hmm. But like,
But
mm-hmm. But you know, it's also sort of meant to be like an album talking about, you know, equality. You know, it's an album pushing forward for like everyone to, you know, like, you know, see the injustices within the world and, you know, use that anguish and despair to make a real connection with each other and,
yeah,
you know, to eliminate it. Um, Orphans is also Orphans is actually a. Let me read the description again. Coldplay tells the story of a girl and her father who become refugees and are rescued by people who aid them during the Syrian civil war. They worry for the children who are stuck in refugee camps who desperately want to be let go, and Chris and his bandmates understand that they are just as human as the rest of the world. Mm-hmm.
I do remember that.
Yes, but yeah. I mean, the first when the album was first released, I remember sort of skipping it because, you know, like at that point I was kind of like trying to like take a break from Coldplay, you know, and like, you know, expand my horizons a bit. But now that I've heard it for the first time, I have to say that, like, you know, I was like, you know, I think this is the best album they've released in a very long time. Honestly, I think this is the best one they've released since the Viva La Vida. Well, not as good as Viva La Vida, but like, you know, it's on the same tier as Viva La Vida, you know, in a way.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um.
yeah, I had church, I had trouble in town, I had old friends, I had everyday life
Mhm.
as my favorites, and for songs like trouble in town and for songs like trouble in town and church, did pick up on the I did pick up the themes a little bit
Mhm.
from what they were describing.
Mhm.
But yeah, actually hearing that there's something in the lyrics, I might have to go back and check this one out again.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go for it, buddy. Um. Uh. But yeah, so I think those are some of the tracks that really stuck out to me. Let me see. Another track that really stuck out is Daddy, which is sort of like this piano ballad about a child missing their father and wanting to meet them again. That was also a really emotional track that, you know, kind of like got me teary eyed a little bit. But
Oh.
yeah. But anyway, I think that's all. I think that's everything I wanted to say about Everyday Life. If you guys have any other thoughts, be sure to put them out there.
No,
Okay.
that's about it.
Other than the fact for an album this dark, it's this relaxing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at it again.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's move on to our next nominee. That being Jacob Collier's Jesse Volume 3, which was again considered a very surprising choice. From what I've gathered, Jacob Collier seems to be a guy who got his start on YouTube and, you know, sort of blew up and then began producing some pretty, like, well-crafted albums with some pretty big names. This one in particular, he collaborated with a ton of people. He worked with Ty Dolla $ign. He worked with Tori Kelly. He worked with T-Pain, Jesse Reyes, and
He worked with
Kimbra, yes. Tank and the Bangas, who got nominated for Best New Artist last year, I believe. And yeah, and he's just like he just pumping out those tunes, and he's actually very keen on music theory. You know, he's sort of like, from what I've gathered from his work, especially from the Mike the Snare video when he touched on the nominees from this year. He was talking about how he's one of the Jacob Collier is one of those people who's really getting the public into music theory and like how it works and like, you know, how it can help you craft better songs. And the way he just experiments with sound on this record in particular is just so dissimilar from what I've heard other artists pull off, you know? Count the People with Jesse Reyes and T-Pain, you know, you have fast-paced rapping from Jacob, and, you know, you have, like, dubstep, and then, like, I think he adds in a banjo at one point, you know? Like, it just kind of feels like a science experiment, you know? There's so much science laced with this record. Boris, do you have anything to say about the Tori Kelly song, Running Out of Love?
I love it.
I think my favorite song, though, would have to be He Won't Hold You, his cut with Rhapsody. And it's a song about where Jacob and Rhapsody explore the theme of loneliness and, you know, some of the hardships they've endured when, you know, entering a romantic relationship. And, you know, I love the sort of like the old school baritone backup vocals. I love the feeling of reflection that Rhapsody projects when she's like, you know, displaying the feeling of reflection. I love the lower key change that they put in at certain points. The bluesy piano is excellent. But yeah, I went into this record having no idea who Jacob Collier was or like what his like deal was. But I was actually kind of surprised. I was surprisingly impressed. Yeah. But I pass it on to you.
I also went into this record having no idea at all who Jacob Collier was. And when I kind of left thinking it's another one of those that it was hard for me to decide on my favorite songs of it because most of the project, it was one that was more kind of in like the blend of the project more overall than actually individual songs sticking out to me.
Okay.
And from what I actually, and yeah, it actually was a pretty decent project.
Yeah.
Bits of risks and
yeah, of course.
Bits of risks and all of the thing about it. Eventually, I settled on In Too Deep, In My Bones, and All I Need.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, In My Bones is like such like a jumpy tune, you know, like it's like very like.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a project. It was definitely a project that was worth the listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I might return. I'm sorry, you were saying?
Will I go back to it? Probably not, but it was definitely worth the listen.
Okay. Well, I think that's everything we wanted to say about Jacob Collier. So let's jump over to Haim's record, Women in Music Part 3. And Ryan, you sound exasperated. I
really wanted this project to work for me. I heard the whole hype about Haim, how they were just so great as musicians, how they were like so wonderful. And I think after I listened to it, I just kind of left thinking it's like I guess to put it kindly, after I listened to Women in Music, I think I kind of accepted that Haim weren't my thing.
Okay.
I don't know if it's something about like their sound or something, or just their whole style, or just something about them, but they just really didn't click with me, and which kind of disappointed with me because I was really looking forward to listening to it because I heard everything about Haim and how they were like amazing and wonderful, and well, I guess I just kind of left disappointed.
Well, that just happens with artists. Sometimes I have the same feeling with Future. Sometimes, everyone always talks about how great of a rapper he is and how he always makes these amazing beats. But like, I just can't find myself connecting with his music. It just doesn't click with me.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of what I left with after listening to it. Like, I mean, if Haim works for everyone else, that's great, but it just didn't. It just didn't click with me.
Okay.
I liked Hallelujah and I liked Don't Wanna, but the record just didn't work for me.
Okay.
I mean, I hate by the end of the year this might end in my bottom 10, but
bottom 10. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I have it as a 5 out of 10 for now, and I didn't review many projects. I don't think it will, but yeah, it just didn't work.
Okay. Just happens.
Sorry.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, this one sort of had like a bit of like a 90s indie feel to it, and it's definitely like a song where they like really showed like their where they really sort of connect with their LA roots, like in the scene. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, they're really connecting with their LA roots, and they really sort of like try to immerse themselves into like the scene, specifically the downtown scene. All right, some of the tracks that stood out to me, I really loved I Know Alone. It's a song about, they're thinking about the painful of loneliness, and how like people expect you to give it your all, but there are certain days where it takes too much energy out of you. They want you to feel, like they want you to appear happy, at all times, but there are just some days where like it takes too much out of you, and you're left thinking, what are you gonna do? And I sort of like the downbeat tone, the drum and bass in unison, the squeaky door to open the track. That was really good. I also loved 3 a.m., which is sort of like an R&B influenced track, and it's sort of like them singing about a booty call. And then FUBT was also really great. It's a song about how she can't stop how the singer can't stop loving her man, and the electric guitar opening the track is just magnificent. Haim harmonizing well during the chorus. But yeah, those are just some of the tracks that stood out to me. Boris, do you have any thoughts on Women in Music Part 3?
I honestly think the first 2 albums were better.
Okay. Alright, so I think that's everything we can say about Haim. What do you say we move on to Future Nostalgia?
Sure.
Alright, cool. Alright, so Future Nostalgia, recorded by one of the biggest pop stars of the year, and could be one of the biggest pop stars of the decade, Dua Lipa. A retro album released early in 2020 in March, with her paying homage to many different artists, many legendary artists, including Daft Punk and who else? Daft Punk, Queen. We also have who is the singer of I Will Survive? She pays homage to her.
Gaynor.
Yes, Gloria Gaynor. Yes, yeah, she pays homage to her as well, and it's like one of the biggest and most critically acclaimed records of the year. And there are just too many songs on this record to like, honestly. Each one has their own unique style, and their own unique visuals. Like, honestly, I actually like with so many other where so many other albums you sort of forget how each song went. With this album you can almost instantly remember how each track goes. But do you guys have anything else? Do you guys have anything to say?
No.
Well,
Just a good album.
First off, may Daft Punk rest in peace.
Yeah.
In their retirement.
In their retirement, they're not dead. They're just retired.
Yeah. Second off, let me get the bad out of the way first. I did not like how this record ended.
Those are its weakest 2 tracks.
Yeah, a lot of people said like Good and Bad and Boys Will Be Boys are the 2 weakest ones.
Those two, I would have left them on the cutting floor. Because actually, when I went through on my first listen, I really wanted this to be to get out of the 8 out of 10 region and possibly be one of the best albums of the year.
Okay.
But sadly, it ended in the good tier because of those 2.
Okay.
But other than that, this was actually really fantastic.
Oh yeah,
just really good dance pop in general. Just really great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that this could be this is like an instant classic we're working with here.
Yeah, I am still debating. I usually don't cover deluxe editions of albums, but I am debating in the future going to cover the extended version of it.
Okay.
That's really how I thought Future Nostalgia was.
Okay.
Like, it was really amazing, and if there were songs on the back burner, how could those be?
Right.
But I still have a buttload of albums as it is to cover. I still haven't covered Plastic Hearts yet. I still haven't covered Chris Stapleton. There's a lot on my back burner. But it is something going through my thoughts. Yeah, and already Dua Lipa is having like a really good 2021.
Oh yeah.
with Levitating still in the top 10.
The Baby remix.
I am placing my chips on this right now. Dua Lipa is going to be our Katy Perry for the 2020s.
I really hope you don't mean that the way I think you do.
Yeah, I mean, she could reach the same success as Katy Perry with those big bombastic pop tunes, So.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Dua Lipa is going to be our Katy Perry of the 2020s, who hopefully doesn't screw up when the 2016 comes around. Or in this case, 2026.
Okay. Some of my favorite tracks. Absolute favorite, number 1 favorite, Physical. Just a very, very well crafted dance tune. I love the flute that it opens up with. The backing vocals, the way they enter the second verse, the tempo and beat reminiscent of a Jazzercise episode. The tapping beat picks up in the speed, like the way it does on the bridge. And then it's just Dua embracing the intensity and chemistry of of the relationship that she has. It's just amazing. And then I also, let's see, what else did I like? Hallucinate was really good too. It has that feeling of soaring through the sky, and she's just so.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Hallucinate.
Hallucinate is just amazing. They made a whole Cuphead inspired video for it.
Yeah, for Hallucinate, I still stand by what I said in the listening about it. I feel it was another one that it was decent, but with how all the entirety of Future Nostalgia was, it easily felt like it was kind of overshadowed. It makes sense that it was a single stuck in her home country. Meanwhile, Break My Heart was dominating over here.
Okay.
Yeah, because it did get a single release for the UK, and I think it hit at least the top 20 there. But even in the UK, they eventually took on Levitating at that point, and I think I think Hallucinate ended up getting caught between seasons there.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's everything on Future Nostalgia. What do you say we move on to Hollywood's Bleeding?
I liked it more than Beer Bongs and Bentleys.
I did too. I did too. It had like a lot more intensity to it. There was a lot more emotion, to it. A lot of more like, artistry to it, I believe. Yeah, and this was probably one of the most popular or most well-known records out of this field. And honestly, I wouldn't say like, I don't know if I would call it a great record, but I definitely did find a lot of enjoyment in it. Well, let me look at some of my favorite ones. Let's see. What was the name of that song? What was it? Was it no, 1,000 Bad Times. That was probably one of my favorite non-singles on the album. It's like, Post Malone is disappointed. I refer to him as Posty in the notes. Posty is disappointed in the fact that many of his past relationships have failed, but he tells himself to persevere no matter the obstacles. I love the way he just belts out and screams out the notes during the bridge. I love the drowned out production close to the end. I love the somber piano, the clear percussion. Everything about this song is well crafted. Circles, of course, everyone knows how amazing Circles is. So, Enemies was pretty fun too. Like, DaBaby always rapping at lightning speed, and the pokey beat, Wow, of course, was another popular hit single from the album that people just love to bump. Sunflower too. Take What You Want.
Sunflower is only good because of Post Malone's part. Could not. Sway Lee's lyrics don't really hold up under scrutiny.
See, that's where I actually disagree. I think they actually play off each other really well.
Oh yeah, they do.
Actually, I honestly think if you took Sway Lee out of it, Sunflower wouldn't really work as well as it does.
No, it wouldn't.
It kind of needs both of them to play off each other.
Yeah, because Sway Lee, he always has that very like soothing, relaxing, singing voice. There's like a lot of like euphoria and like tranquility to it. Like I always say that he is much better as a vocalist than as a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, remember that song he did with French Montana, Unforgettable?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think Sway Lee makes the track. I think that song became as big of a hit as it did because of Sway Lee. So, but do you guys have any favorites from Hollywood's Bleeding?
Okay, I looked up my review for it that I made for it, and I can safely say this is outdated. Yeah, because I reviewed Hollywood's Bleeding when it came out, and back then I honestly kind of felt let down about it. I have revisited it since then, and to be honest, well, I kind of think I hit it on the nail with what I gave my rating to it. Because, to be honest, outside of the major singles, there's not much in the non-singles that stick out to me.
Okay.
I mean, you have Take What You Want, which everyone agrees is amazing.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I like Die For Me. I liked Allergic, but there is really not much I could list off that I can remember from it.
Okay.
I think Post played it smart with his singles releases.
Okay.
But I guess I can say I appreciate it. I just really wish it was better.
Okay. Boris, what about you?
And as
sorry. From.
No, you can finish.
And as someone who's kind of becoming a Post Malone apologist, I am not sure if I should go back and take a look at Beer Bongs or Stoney.
But Boris, do you have anything to add?
It's just a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
The album.
All right. Well, anyway.
Which is what I think I would give it now. 6 out of 10 kind of sounds right.
All right. Well, anyway, if we're done with Hollywood's Bleeding, we can move on to our final nominee in this category, that being Folklore. Folklore. Yes. Folklore is magnificent. I love the framing. I love the atmosphere. I love the tone. The lyrical content is great, which is what you should always expect from Taylor Swift. Another album with so many memorable tracks that really just hit, that really just stick with you, you know. Of course, one of the major stories with this album is how there is this sort of arc going on throughout the record called Teenage Love Triangle, where, like, you know, she's telling the story about this teenage couple where the boyfriend cheated and then he's trying to win her back. And then years later, she's sort of reflecting on the romance and, like, how it shaped her to be to become the person she is currently. But you want to know what's interesting? Do you guys know the channel Middle 8?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, he did a video essay talking about Folklore and, like, you know, how, you know, the way she wrote it, Taylor Swift. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. But yeah, he was talking about the love triangle going on throughout the record, and he actually made a very interesting theory. It was called The Hidden Love Triangle in Folklore. And he made an interesting theory that every single track on the album is actually continuing the story of the love triangle.
Even something like The Last Great American Dynasty?
Yeah, because here's the thing. So let me look this up. So Taylor Swift, in that song, she's actually singing about a woman that she inherited a mansion from. Her name was Rebecca Harkness, who was known as an American composer, sculptor, dance patron, and philanthropist. And let's see, Harkness was well known for her personal eccentricities as well as her contribution to the arts. Eventually, she passed away, and then Taylor moved into her mansion, and that could possibly tie into the love triangle, because get this. In real life, Rebecca Harkness was referred to as Betty, and one of the tracks on the album is called Betty. Yeah, and the theory is that, like, you know, is that Taylor is actually singing about the life of Rebecca Harkness all throughout the track.
Was Rebecca in a love triangle?
Well, I don't know, but, like, maybe that's like a story that we the public don't really have access to, and, like, Taylor may know a little bit about. But it has to be more than a coincidence that one of the tracks in the love triangle arc is named after a celebrity that Taylor Swift specifically sings about earlier in the album. Why do
they call a woman named Rebecca Betty?
I have no idea.
Wouldn't Becky be more?
Maybe. But yeah. That has to be that couldn't have been done by coincidence. Yeah, she was known as Betty Harkness.
Is it possible whoever came up with that theory was maybe giving Taylor a little more credit?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's a good song, certainly. I feel like, you know, sometimes a fan theory will just, like, be trying to connect dots that might not actually be there.
Yeah. That is possible.
I don't know this person you just mentioned. I don't know anything about her, so maybe there is some merit to it, but I wouldn't know.
Okay.
All I know is I wouldn't even know any of this if you did not tell me.
Well, I'll say this. At least it's not about some boy Taylor is dating in real life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because that's one of the cool things, and I remember Todd touching on this in his best of 2020 list, is that it seems like while the topics haven't necessarily changed, like her perspective has sort of changed. Like she's giving like more of like a different look at certain topics, like cheating and breakups and childhood. Like she has like a more mature view of like she has like a much more mature understanding of interpersonal relationships now, and that's kind of like what makes this album sort of interesting and makes it like distinguishable from many of her other records. Betty is.
Okay,
So, I feel like Folklore is a front runner.
Oh yeah,
maybe also Future Nostalgia.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. It definitely will be one of those two that takes it home. Like I'm placing
maybe Hollywood's Bleeding, if only because it has Circles on it.
Circles is a great track. Yeah, and
oh yeah, totally.
So anyway, what do you say? I reveal the medals now.
Sure.
All right, cool. So after.
Can I?
Oh yeah, you wanted to say something, Ryan?
Yeah, mainly because I never got to talk about Folklore.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. I definitely agree with what you guys are saying. It's Folklore is definitely a front runner, and to be honest, yeah, it definitely deserves it. Even if I didn't know the whole theory about it, which now I do. Even with that, I can say it's definitely a strong story with strong production elements all throughout it. It was my favorite album of last year that I talked about. Though Cam's album that she released did come close to topping it. It was definitely a really strong album. Really strong production elements, and somehow I enjoyed the follow-up more.
What, Evermore?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sort of the opposite way. I mean, I've revisited Folklore more than Evermore. But yeah, cool that you like it.
Yeah. Actually,
funnily enough, mine's on there too.
Yeah, actually, I just put this out there yesterday. That Folklore was actually a strong album as it was, but I honestly think, and I can confidently say this, Evermore is probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Wow.
Already?
That's amazing. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you might have to tell me more about that. In fact, I might have to listen to it myself.
Yes, we might have to have Ryan gushing over Evermore video.
Yes. Yes. I could link people to it through my Chica video.
Studio stuff, I would do that.
But yeah, do you guys want to just go to the first place medals and second place medals and all that?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So after voting between myself, Boris, Ryan, Alex Universe, and River Toby, we have decided that the top 3 albums to win this year were Coldplay's Everyday Life coming in 3rd place, Future Nostalgia coming in 2nd place, and 1st place, no surprise, going to Folklore by Taylor Swift. And yes, so those are our top 3 album predictions for this year. So just to recap, so record of the year going to Circles by Post Malone. No, song of the year going to Circles by Post Malone. Record of the year going to Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish. Best new artist was a tie between Phoebe Bridgers and Megan Thee Stallion, and album of the year going to Folklore by Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question? Was everything I wanted in the song field too?
Yes, it was, but it got beat out by Circles.
Again, and I still stand by this. I am surprised those weren't. I am surprised those didn't get swapped.
Hmm.
Because because I still think Circles is more of a vibe song than actually a song to listen to for the lyrics alone.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I would say that Everything I Wanted is more strong based on its lyrics, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
So I am surprised those ended up like that.
Mhm. But anyway, why do you say we go and discuss some of the other categories?
Oh, that's right. We had other categories to talk about.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that. Let me see. Here we go. Yes, so first off is rap. Our rap categories. On the screen right now you can see Roddy Ricch, DaBaby, Lil Baby, Drake, Pop Smoke, rest in peace, and Megan Thee Stallion. So, first off,
is it Pop Smoke or D Smoke?
It's Pop Smoke. Yeah, this is Pop Smoke, and another guy's named D Smoke.
Hey, Pop Smoke, rest in peace.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Left us way too soon. But anyway, so first off we have let me get up the nominees. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Grammys started allowing posthumous releases in. Or has that been a thing for a while now?
It's been a thing for a while, but I think they've been pushing it more.
Well, I mean, there have been George Harrison got a Grammy nomination for posthumous album.
And I think I remember Ray Charles even won Album of the Year posthumously in 2004. And you want to know what albums?
Oh yes. And John Lennon won too for the posthumous album or posthumously. I'm sorry.
But do you guys remember? Do you guys know which albums Ray Charles won against that year?
Hang on, I have it.
I'll let you look it up yourself. Because I want you to be surprised.
No, that was the year before. Okay, so Ray Charles. Oh boy. Confessions by Usher. The Diary of Alicia Keys by Alicia Keys. The College Dropout by Kanye West. And American Idiot by Green Day.
You beat out all those albums.
That is a strong field.
Oh yeah, for sure. The thing is, by all those albums are considered classics by today's standards.
I honestly didn't really care for Alicia Keys and Usher's albums. I thought The College Dropout and American Idiot were the strongest.
Okay.
And that's coming from someone who does not care for Kanye in the slightest. Not even for political reasons, just
yeah.
But
anyway, let's talk about rap music. So first off is best rap performance. Nominees are Deep Reverence by Big Sean featuring Nipsey Hussle, Bop by DaBaby, What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow, The Bigger Picture by Lil Baby, Savage by Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce, and Dior by Pop Smoke.
Don't you mean the song by Megan Thee Stallion?
Yes,
Beyonce?
that's I remember that. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm thinking it's possible The Bigger Picture will win just because the Grammys might want to seem like they're sensitive and sympathetic towards all the Black Lives Matter protests from last year.
They want to seem like they're that.
Okay.
It seemed like it without actually doing anything about it.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you there, but I'm gonna save it for a category lower down the list.
Okay.
Because for this category, I do think it's gonna be. I do love The Bigger Picture a lot, but I think more for best rap performance. It's gonna. What I'm navigating towards more is either the Pop Smoke song or DaBaby's song.
Okay. Bop or Dior?
That is more drawing me in more.
Okay. But anyway, if you're done with that, we can go to best melodic rap performance. We got Rockstar by DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch, Laugh Now, Cry Later by Drake featuring Lil Durk, Lockdown by Anderson .Paak, The Box by Roddy Ricch, and Highest in the Room by Travis Scott. All right, who are we picking for this one?
DaBaby 100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with my choice.
Yeah, DaBaby. Who
No,
you?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby. No, Lil Baby isn't nominated for this award.
Oh, right, best melodic. Definitely something with either one of the songs with Roddy Ricch or Lockdown.
Okay. All right, looks like.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah. Roddy Ricch might actually
He had
take
a huge year.
Oh, very big year. And then.
Very huge year.
Mm-hmm. Best rap song. Now, well, all right, so this is for best rap song where we talked about the lyrics. Bigger Picture by Lil Baby, The Box by Roddy Ricch, Laugh Now Cry Later by Drake featuring Lil Durk, Rockstar by DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch, and the song by Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce.
Okay, now this is the one where I would say the Grammys would probably throw it to Lil Baby. Since the bigger picture is all throughout it, just everything that happened in America, plus with what happened with it,
Mm-hmm.
and since it is about the lyrics, this is the one where I think if they were gonna be woke and throw it to Lil Baby, they probably would throw it here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they're probably
either that or Rockstar.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it almost kind of like, because like the bigger picture, like, you know, it's him talking about how, like, there's like so much, like, you really need to like put everything into perspective, you know, like there's so much just chaos going on around us, and like it's not just about calling out very specific officers, but like it's about like, you know, trying to like really like sort of like change the system, you know, and like how much like change and like how much effort that needs to, you know, how much effort that requires, you know. Yeah, and he's like talking about how like, oh, the pandemic, you know, that was like a hot story just a few months ago, and now we're moving on to the George Floyd protests, you know. It's just insane. But anyway, so yeah, Bigger Picture is probably going to take that one. Then best rap album. We got Black Habits by D Smoke, not Pop Smoke, D Smoke. Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist. A Written Testimony.
I think this is Freddie Gibbs' first solo nomination.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't remember him being nominated before. But then we got A Written Testimony by Jay Electronica, King's Disease by Nas, and The Allegory by Royce da 5'9".
I'll tell you the one I think should win.
Who do you think should win?
Alfredo.
Alfredo. Yeah, I remember some of my friends are just telling me how amazing Alfredo is, and I listened to it myself.
Yeah,
and
great.
Yeah.
Since Run the Jewels 4 isn't on here, I'm going with that one.
Okay. Ryan, who do you say?
Probably. Yeah, I'm gonna double up on Alfredo that it should win, but probably D Smoke.
Okay. I really liked Written Testimony a lot, you know, but I think Alfredo might take this one.
I have some feelings about Nas's career. Like, it kind of sucks that he released like the untouchable classic that was Illmatic, and then even though he's made other albums since then that are good, they all just cannot exist outside its shadow.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. But anyway, let's move on to our final category for this whole saga. That being the pop category. We got Justin Bieber, Dua Lipa, Harry Styles, Taylor Swift, BTS, and Lady Gaga all on the screen right now. So, let's go over the awards. All right, so best pop solo performance. We got Yummy by Justin Bieber, Say So by Doja Cat, Everything I Wanted, Billie Eilish, Don't Start Now, Dua Lipa, Watermelon Sugar, Harry Styles, and Cardigan, Taylor Swift.
Definitely one of those last four.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Mm.
If Yeah, Cardigan will probably be the front. Cardigan will probably be the front runner for it.
I don't know.
If,
Those four are equally good, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Although it's been a while since I've listened to Watermelon Sugar in full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would probably have to. I'm sorry.
and I can say if I hear Watermelon Sugar one more time, I will probably go insane.
I'm probably gonna go with Don't Start.
I wish I was kidding. If I'm not hearing Adore You on our station, I'm probably hearing Watermelon Sugar. But recently they think they've been pulling back on Watermelon Sugar a little bit
Okay.
to allow more room for Golden, but I tracked our station's top songs last year. Adore You finished in the top 5 last year, and it'll probably finish in the top 5 again this year.
Yeah, Adore You, it's just a great song. But yeah, for this specific award, I'm gonna have to go with Don't Start Now. I love the energy for it, and I love the lyrical content too. All right, and then best pop duo group performance: Un Dia, One Day by J Balvin, Dua Lipa, Bad Bunny, and Tiny. Is it Tiny?
Whatever.
All right, and then Intentions by Justin Bieber featuring Quavo. Dynamite by BTS. Yeah, I know. I hate him just as much as you do. Dynamite by BTS.
A reminder: The Weeknd was not nominated.
Yes,
but these were.
Remember, it does not feel the same without Abel. Screen cap this. All right. Dynamite by BTS. Rain on Me by Lady Gaga with Ariana Grande. Exile by Taylor Swift featuring Bonnie Bear.
One of those last three for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, see, I would say BTS would be a front runner, but I was getting into a discussion with some people yesterday about apparently how they are centering out the awards with it.
Mm-hmm.
And with apparently what they're doing towards Taylor Swift, it's more likely that BTS is not going to go away with that award. So, with that knowledge in mind, it's going to be either Lady Gaga or Exile.
Okay.
Probably Exile.
Yeah, I probably might say Exile myself. Any choices, Boris?
Well, I already made my choices clear.
Okay. And then finally, best pop vocal album. We have Changes by Justin Bieber. I know. Chromatica by Lady Gaga. Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Fine Line by Harry Styles. And Folklore by Taylor Swift. Alright, and for that one, I might have to say... Is it weird that I'm predicting Folklore will win Album of the Year, but then Future Nostalgia will win Best Pop Vocal Album? Is that kind of strange?
Not really.
Maybe?
I don't know. I guess I'd like... Maybe what I'm trying to say is that, like, I enjoy Future Nostalgia as a pop album, but, like, I enjoy Folklore as an album in general.
It's funny that Fine Line came out in 2019 and no one is complaining.
I think it came out in December of 2019. You know,
yeah.
They usually take albums between October of last year and September of this year. Yeah. So
I know how the eligibility here works. The issue is that I don't think most people do.
Yeah, like it does lead to a lot of confusion, which I think they should probably re-examine. So that people aren't like, hey, why wasn't this nominated? How does this work?
I think the eligibility works the way it does because sometimes an album will be released late in one year and it won't peak in popularity until the following year. Mm-hmm. Like back in the 80s, George Michael's Faith won Album of the Year. Even though it was released in 1987, it came out in the 1988 eligibility year, and it was, I think, the biggest selling album of that year.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Folklore or Future Nostalgia.
Okay. All right.
Although Chromatica and Fireman are also very solid albums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have, and there is zero chance for changes.
Well, I mean, with the Grammys, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there
I mean, they did nominate Someone You Loved last year.
Mm-hmm. I would,
Fortunately, they didn't actually give it the award, but still.
Yeah.
I still think if Justin Bieber is going to go away with anything, it probably will be the Dan and Shay song in Best Country Duo Performance, because I don't think Justin Bieber has a fighting chance in anything else.
No, absolutely not. If he wins over BTS, like,
oh my God, the BTS stans will murder him.
No, they will fly to Los Angeles and burn the Academy to the ground, like.
Which is why I'm secretly rooting for Dynamite to take that award, and it might, but again with what I'm hearing more about it, I think Taylor Swift is gonna go away with that one more.
Okay. But anyway, I think that's everything we wanted to say. And I think this is where we will wrap up the stream here. So that concludes our 4-part series talking about all the nominees for this year's Grammys, and we will be sure to live stream our reaction to tomorrow's ceremony. You guys excited for that?
Wait, how's that gonna work?
Yeah, I think I'd be sure we could have like a Discord chat. We could have like a Discord call in like Sean's server and like invite people on to sort of watch with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like we won't be actually like showing the ceremony on screen, but like I'll have like my reaction on camera and all that. So
what time?
I think it should be like at 8. That's usually when. I mean, if you guys really want to, we can have it like 7, because that's when they're having like the pre-show and everything. But if you can't do that, we can do 8.
Check.
I know there's some awards that are getting done in the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I think I heard the same thing.
There are some that I hear are being announced during that.
I actually do have. I might have something tomorrow night.
Okay.
But I'll give you a heads up.
Okay. Cool.
My availability.
All right. Cool. Well.
All right. I'll try to stay up for as much as I can of it, but I know I do have a work day tomorrow, so.
Okay.
I might leave towards the end of it.
All right. That's fine. That's fine. If you can stop by for a little bit, that's fine. Anyway, but
yeah, I'll definitely be here during the beginning of it.
Okay. Well, anyway, that should be the end of our stream. That concludes our 4-part series. And Ryan and Boris, I thank you once again for joining me on this glorious call.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Well, anyway, and that's where we sign off. I'm Gabriel Jones, and the sun may be setting, but I hope you're able to soak up those drops. Have a nice day, everyone.
Bye.